So, do you think there are things that we can only speculate, but do you think you told me once years ago you were very cosmic in your nature,
Mm,
and now you're becoming
mhm,
more and more earthly. I think you
mhm,
maybe you bring in this beautiful balance of earth and
mhm,
everything around
mhm,
us. Do
mhm.
you think that there is possibility that that, that there is some kind of consciousness from Pleiades, some being, some civilization trying to contact us? Did they leave their signature in such a monument, such a spectacular monuments as Bosnian Pyramids are, a whole valley of them, for us to remember at this time? And do they, contact us
Ah, I
through
think
it?
so. Yes, absolutely. I mean, there is a link to many sacred sites with, look, I think where humanity is going at the moment is we are moving into multidimensional capacity and multidimensional consciousness.
Mhm.
So I think that any belief that it's just humanity and that's it has already
Mhm.
been disproven. So I feel that part of growing that human design or accessing all of our capacity within this human experience is to be able to access our multidimensionality as well. And I feel that perhaps this is something to do with what the Pleiades are here to teach us.
Mhm.
Um, I wouldn't know, and I haven't really contemplated it. Obviously, they're known as the Seven Sisters. So, is it right to make the assumption that therefore it is feminine energy? Is it a new style of feminine energy?
Mhm.
I'm going to have to tell you how it feels on the other side compared to Uluru as well, because there will only have been 3 months between me visiting those two very sacred sites. And eh, there was a depth of feeling in Uluru. It was very ancient country. It was, uh, and it was interesting. And I guess I'm not fully aware of it. I only know what I have read, which I admit is limited, and through what I've heard
Mhm.
through you. I don't, I could feel sadness, and I heard sadness through the stories at Uluru, through the community at Murujulu, like lack of good water there. So I could feel that. It'll be interesting. And I try to go into these spirit calls, heart-based calls, whatever we want to call them, with very little preconceived idea or notion and just actually show up. That's my job. Okay, I'm here. Now what? What
Mhm.
am I feeling?
Mhm.
What is being moved through me? Okay, I'm here. You told me to come here. What is it that I'm here to do? I'm here. So I think I think it's going to be very interesting to see what activations, how the land feels for me there, whether I pick up on the sadness of the Balkan people. Uh, and it is interesting, and interesting is not a good word. It's a very academic kind of disconnected statement. What I, you have two places that are connected to the Seven Sisters,
Mhm.
and the stories that surround them are actually ones of deep sadness, deep suffering, and that's interesting in itself. And again, you know,
Mhm.
I'm not liking the terminology that I'm utilizing there as interesting because it is very disconnected from the real human experience and the real human suffering. Uh, so I'm just going to throw something out there here that just dropped into my mind. There are particular styles of spiritual philosophies that speak to the necessity of suffering in the human experience.
Sufi,
So,
Buddhists.
so could we pray that perhaps that the Pleiades are leading us out of that into a new expression, a new experience of reality, with echoes perhaps back to Lemuria or times where societies, communities of people were able to live with the basic tenements of honor, respect, love, compassion, forgiveness, you know, all of the good things that inherently we each know is the right way for us to go.
Yeah, when it comes to Bosnia, as I mentioned before, and Balkans in general, people will be aware, will remember we in 90s, we have big divide, big war. Bosnia is divided, three nation. It's one nation. We all speak same language. We have identical genes, but divided, three religions, three nations. And I think not I think, that's the fact, Bosnia got the hardest part of the previous country, Yugoslavia, falling apart. And sensitive as you are, you will sense that trauma, a lot was healed, a lot was done, but trauma is here, there, still there. But one of the things really interesting is that Sam, when he was naming the pyramids, one of the reasons why he gave one of them name Pyramid of Love, it's exactly for the healing of the
Mm.
Bosnia and Balkans in general. Um, and there was many tries in past 30 years to boil conflict. She enjoys freedom walking on a bench, which she's not allowed otherwise. Pow, she said pow. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Anyways, um, um, they are trying to, again and again bring conflict back again. But I don't want to be arrogant, but it just seems like people are just not biting into it. And just recent
Mm.
discovery, also, as I said before, the pyramid of love is exactly in the middle of that spiral, as we said before.
Mm.
So it
Mm-hmm.
resembles Star Maya on Pleiades, which is the
Mm-hmm.
oldest one. Which is the
Mm-hmm.
oldest one, the oldest sister of them all, resembles
Mm.
Pyramid of Love. I mean, the precision
Beautiful.
of design.
And I love that, you know. I mean, I uh, often have spoken about, well, Inanna Rakma means it is an ancient Aramaic language. There are two languages that change the energy and vibration of
Sorry,
once there's
which language? Where is coming from?
Aramaic.
Uh-huh.
So there are two languages that apparently shift the subtleties or change the frequency within a room. One of them is Sanskrit and the other is Aramaic.
Okay.
Um, so Inanna Rakma means there is only or all is love. And of course, I say it with my Australian accent. You know, I haven't got that beautiful, rich,
Poetical, like
no,
Persian
no,
is
no,
like
no.
that too.
Yeah,
We still
exactly.
got it
And
in our language. I'm so happy. Our language is still, we have a lot of similarities with Sanskrit.
mm,
But through Turkish influence, a lot of Persian words also came in. So we still
Mhm.
have it, and I love it. Sorry to interrupt, but I know what you're
No,
talking about.
completely okay. So if at the heart center, you have uh, the highest frequencies of love. And then if you envisage, okay, so fear, still in this sphere of love, but just in greater distance.
Mhm.
So I like to look at all emotions, all experiences to be that expression of love, even through those challenging experiences. Once we're able to find the gift within them, we come to that resonance, we come to the gratitude, we come to the understanding from a soul level, and often that all is love, as absolutely challenging, as ridiculous, as horrible, as horrific as some of those experiences have been for us. At the end of the day, it's all a spiral around it, right? Exactly like the pyramids. It's circling, trying to get closer. And some things will always remain out here. Some things will never get to experience the heart center because of their distance, because it's not their soul's incarnation to do so this lifetime. They
Mhm.
will remain on the outskirts,
Mhm.
skirting around at a major difference. But often for, most of us with really challenging experience, it's a journey, isn't it?
Mhm.
It's a journey circling around, getting closer. And yourself, it's through forgiveness. It's through compassion.
And sometimes that's not easy. Genuinely forgive. You can say,
I
but
forgive you.
genuinely, like with all your being.
Absolutely. I would, yeah. Sometimes that's our life's work to be able to do that in full heart, you know. And yeah, I'm not excusing atrocities by any means. I'm not, um, yeah, I just love this concept of Inanna Rakma.
Mhm.
Um, and I'm excited to feel what Bosnia has to tell me about it too. Mm.
Just another pearl in the necklace, right?
Exactly. One of my favorite analogies.
Yes. So I think answer is almost obvious, but I need to ask you, is Uluru about love?
Mm. I It's interesting because it is the heart center of Australia, right?
Mhm.
So I feel that uh, it carries the heart, absolutely. It's also known as the solar plexus. I
Mhm.
feel like it is, with the group that I took, uh, I am was the mantra that we were
Presence,
working with. Yeah,
present. I am.
I am.
And she is.
Uh,
She is. Everybody knows about she is. You can see her from space. She is.
yeah, because she is, exactly. She is I am. She exists. And yet it is only, it's like an iceberg. It's only the top bit that we can
Yeah.
see. I do remember, and I have heard the Strongs talk about this as well. Some of the meditations that I used to do with Nana Violet were around. There is a connection point between Uluru, Karachuta, and Mount Connor, And we were working for many years prior to, I think, the last big, and I could be wrong in this, I think the last big kind of group that went to Uluru was to do with 2020, around
Mhm.
2020. And they were working on the same box that we'd been doing work on for many years previously. There was a group of us that used to, so I had heard the same theories, or as, yeah, the Strongs, is it the Strongs or the, yeah, we're talking about.
Yes, they do. And they, they,
Mm,
they, they, they were present on ceremony back then, yeah.
yeah.
Mhm.
So to answer your question, I am, for me, I mean, that expands through the heart. I feel like it's between the heart and the solar plexus. I know from a worldwide perspective, uh, there are many theories saying that Uluru is to do with the solar plexus chakra of the world. I feel like it's something between the two.
Mhm. And it also makes sense, so much sun it receives. It's
Yeah.
full of sun,
Mm,
all that sun. It's
hmm
just, and minerals in a rock and everything, it's just collects. And that's
But there,
yellow.
and
That's, I mean, that's solar plexus, solar.
mm, absolutely. And there has been a lot of rain this year too, which is interesting.
It's beautiful.
Mm,
Um, Mentioning rain and Uluru and all of that, just 2 days before, 2 days ago, I had a little bit of inspiration to do something that was coming together for a long time. And I just did it that evening, and I thought, and continue yesterday, and I finished it, completed it yesterday night, and I thought, um, maybe to do a little bit of pause of talking in between. There is that little music piece that I created. I have apologized because I created it with help of artificial intelligence and also some pictures that follow. Unfortunately, I don't know how to draw. I don't know how to sing. I'm not such a fan of artificial intelligence. I'm aware of transhumanism and all of that very much, but I found it beautiful tool to express my inner world out.
mm,
So, and when you told me you're going to be on pyramids on your birthday, and that's going to be a star shower above you
mm.
on Seven Sisters pyramids, and then I just thought that might be something to share with you if you agree.
Ah,
So,
yeah.
and I always feel like, we are not 20 anymore. We are a bit old-fashioned in some ways. Do you remember those radio shows where there were people talk their interviews and they would just play music? These days they just play commercials. Just music in between. That's the gag. So,
Great. Let's do it.
okay. I just need to, all right, share. Um, so share. Can you hear it?
Mm.
Sacred valley, stars align. Sun and moon and dragon rise, mirroring the ancient sky.
Love stands gently at the heart. Maya's light and earth don't part. Golden spirals softly flow. Patterns only dreamers know. Not divided by the sea. One great living memory. Every culture, every place. Different songs, one sacred space. Seven sisters lead us on, dreaming never truly gone. Earth remembers, stone and sky, one great story, you and I. I spend
Wow. That is amazing. That is so beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. That is, yet echoes my sentiments. It's, whew, my goodness, the creativity and just everything that's encompassed within that song. It's really beautiful. The one song line, you know that I'm fond of saying that the original ones dreamt us in.
They did what?
They dreamt us
Yes,
in.
yes. Original ones.
And yeah, they have the dreaming. They hold the dreaming.
Yeah.
So yeah, without it, it's just so beautiful.
Thank you so much.
So beautiful. Mm, yeah.
Um, Remember, I asked you yesterday if you have Irish
Yes,
blood
I
within you.
did.
So what happened? I gave it, my partner Manu, he's a first, a filter. And I played to him, and he said it sounds Irish a little bit. It has that Celtic element if you listen. And my first thought was, I wonder if Mandy has Irish within her. Because I feel like all of our different genetics coming
Mm,
together, we all different,
mm,
different
mm,
skin, hair, it doesn't matter.
mm,
But heart,
mm,
women,
mm-hmm.
one thread.
Yes, yes, yes. So I do have Irish. And I think the other part that that speaks to for me, and something that we haven't really spoken into, is we have all within us, as above, so below, as within, so without. We talk about the solar plexus being the mini sun. You were speaking to that before, the lunar plexus, which is around the belly button area, which of course we speak about in ancient feminine mystery school knowledge, which is the more feminine spirituality. The
Mhm,
lunar plexus,
mhm,
that relates to the moon. So we also carry all of the other planets within us as well. We have to, as within, so without, as above, so below.
mhm.
It's got to be like that. So this is putting a very interesting slant onto this Bosnian piece. What is that there to activate? What will that activate
Mhm.
within each of us, within humanity, within, like, There is a much, we've spoken to it a few times already. There is a much larger story
Mhm.
that is unfolding here.
I think we are getting a lots of help to remember.
Mm,
Yes, awakening, all of that, but remembering how we once lived.
mm, mm,
As we start with symbiosis and love and relationship being everything.
mm,
Um, and what crossed my mind is we have Pyramid of Sun, which is actually the biggest one and the oldest one, I
mm,
believe, of them all. Maybe she is the one that communicates with Uluru so persistently for so many years. For a really long time, every single night before I would go to sleep, especially in the time when we traveled a lot. We spent 4 years traveling around, especially Western Australia, spending time sleeping in most amazing sacred sites.
mm,
And every single night, I would close my eyes, go with my mind to Uluru and to Bosnian
mm,
pyramids. And there is another site in Serbia, some other story also, pyramidal shaped mountain. Always I
mm,
would think of them and somehow, yeah,
mm,
I felt some kind of highways going in between them. And here we are again. But also you mentioned moon. Another pyramid there is Pyramid of Moon,
mm,
um, which you will find. I don't want to give you too many suggestions, but it's for me, it's very, very feminine, very soft energy. What happened, one personal experience. So one night we were there with beautiful friends, and we have a campfire on a top, and there is a restaurant. There's no electricity, so all the food is from fire. And lovely, lovely hosts. They own very top of the Pyramid of
mm,
Moon. Um, and next day we're sitting, there is a restaurant in front of tunnels where tunnels, healing tunnels enter. And my partner of back then, we were together 15 years or something. We're sitting drinking coffee, very Bosnian way, and all of a sudden he's on his knees and proposing.
On top of the pyramid of the moon.
Next day.
Ah, the next day. Oh my goodness.
After
Mm,
15 years, and I'm like, so I want to say he's also really sensitive. It moved something within him that he wanted further step into commitment. And the funny part, he did not, as he is, we are really not in those formalities so much. We are not, and he did not bring a ring. So, because it was just spontaneous for him. And what happened? The friend sitting beside him, Italian friend, he pulls out from his pocket lovely ring, and he said he found it in that very same restaurant or some other locations. Beautiful blue ring with some blue crystals. Maybe it was lapis or something. And yeah,
mm,
and he said once he went through, he was helping them cleaning or something, and there was that ring
mm,
in one box, and he asked owners, and he took that. And yeah,
mm.
so when Manu was ready to propose, he just pulled out that ring from his pocket.
Oh my goodness.
Just a funny anecdote. You will see the things, and this is more for people than for you because you will experience it firsthand, but things are happening different there. We're talking
Mm,
about New Earth and all of those ideas. The people around Sam and his team, Sam, you met him, he's really present, he's
mm,
really sound and down to earth, and as I said before, hardworking man. He creates that field, and also people they're very present, the guides and all of that, they're very
mm,
centered and loving,
mm.
open, which Bosnia is. Bosnia has a bit of shape of heart, and Bosnian people are the
Beautiful.
lovest one you will see, very anyways, and they create that energetic field, and then pyramids and further discoveries and everything creates that field that is different of ordinary of what we
Mm,
usually have.
mm,
And synchronicities and stuff, they just little magic and little miracles and meetings. You can meet friend there from, you're in Bosnia, you can meet someone from Australia who you knew 20 years ago. It's not, it's very common, stuff like that. Almost
mm,
impossible things.
Hmm.
And I'm so glad you'll get to experience that. And um, I can't wait to hear your impressions. And I wonder if that shower, star shower, is carrying another patch of information for us, and you'll be there.
Hmm.
Um,
I have no idea, though. And again, I don't want to go in with these preconceived notions. However, I was aware, you know, of the link with Seven Sisters in Bosnia. It's part of the reason I'm going there. And then I just thought, I'm going to research and see what's actually happening with the Seven Sisters while I'm there. And I was so full of gratitude when I read this meteor shower over the Seven Sisters on the day before and the day of my birthday. And I'm like, okay, thank you, universe. Yes, okay, I completely understand that I'm going to be in the right place at the right time, irrespective, heaven forbid, if there's cloud cover on that night or whatever.
it will
You
still
know,
be there. Mhm.
it will still be there, and it's still like, here you go, here's a birthday present. I'm like, oh, yes. So
Because
I
we
am,
deserve it, and because we put ourselves out there, and we said before we risk something, we open our hearts to it, to
mm,
service,
yeah,
to our development,
absolutely.
to our remembering, and to humanity.
Mm,
Many of us, we done sacrifices, still
hmm.
doing them, but so much coming back, so much good. Um,
Mm.
and at the end of the day, it's just sacrificing what we don't need anymore.
Well, I've been through a very big non-attachment process. I just left an 8-year relationship uh, with the man that I dearly love. Though I woke up and realized that, hold on a minute, I'm actually living his dream, his childhood dream. This is not my dream. Okay, Mandy, so what is your dream? And as a result of that, yeah, I have let go of a lot of my material possessions and stripped it right back. And basically, the way that I'm living my life is following the next step and then following the next step and the next step. It's been a fascinating journey so far. I've really looked into that whole concept of home. And we talk about, there's that colloquial statement, there's that, oh, home is where the heart is.
Mhm.
Yes, it is. And we often consider that that is a particular environment or people, but it's actually, I realized this as I was traveling up a self journey up Kakadu and Litchfield, top end of Australia, which was phenomenal, as you probably know. Like that country is so synchronistic and just uh, Eden. And I just loved that. And yeah, wherever I literally laid my hat or wherever I was like, oh, I'm home. I'm home. And because my life is so transient these days, it might be 3 weeks somewhere, 3 weeks somewhere else. And it's kind of like I walk in and, ah, I'm home. Though I'm also home wherever I am. So the other part of that has been a sense of belonging and just moving through doing different house sits in Perth, that sense of belonging. I went and got a coffee the other day. I was driving, I do like my morning coffee.
Me
In the
too.
previous, yeah, in the previous day.
Bosnian in a heart. Can't help it.
Ah,
You
oh,
will
I
see
can't
the
drink it.
beautiful rituals. Sorry to
Ah,
interrupt. I just women in the morning, the men go to work, they pack their kids to school, the women that are not working, in villages and stuff. They get to, and all is done. There is always full table of food. Everything is perfectly clean, but every morning they sit together. All the neighbor women came. They sit for hours. I don't know how they do it all. They just talk, in exchange, and it's
I
just they sit on the
love it.
ground. That's our culture. There
I
is
love
name
it.
for it. Merak, the enjoyment of presence of, take this cup in, take this, feel
Mm,
it, taste it, like be, So
mm.
sorry to little
No, no,
interruption.
no, no, no.
The coffee,
I
yeah,
love that.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
The lady, I was driving through this coffee and I was like, oh my goodness, I'm so excited to find some good coffee. Like I'm just house sitting at the moment. And she's saying, oh yeah, I didn't think you look like you belonged around here. And that was so interesting because it started me off on this whole, she was like, oh, all your jewelry and everything. And it started me into this whole inquiry within myself around belonging and what is belonging, that sense of belonging, and just working with that. And I feel it is the understanding or the understanding is we are born and therefore we belong. We belong on this planet, right?
correct.
We all belong. And as a result of that belonging, then we have the capacity to connect with different consciousness, to connect with coffee, to connect with others in right relationship, in care, in love, in presence, so I'm going to put my theories to a test when I go to Bosnia and I don't know anyone, I don't speak the language. We're gonna throw it all out there. Okay, let's see what happens. I love to travel though. I love to travel. I know that you do too. I just love to be open to the flow, open to the magic, open to the synchronicities of just the most beautiful, minuscule, a smile from a beautiful lady, an older lady, just a smile, a meeting of the eyes, just that butterfly effect that occurs and that magic of you opening the next door. And as a result of you opening that door, another door opens and it opens and it opens. And yeah, very excited.
I'm so happy. Really, I can't even explain the feeling, what it means to me that you are going, and how
Mm,
um, I'm gonna from a side, not to, push myself too much into first plan, but to follow your journey. And I'm curious how you're gonna experience my culture and all of that. You as Australian and me, somebody who, from other culture living in Australia. But what I wanted to say, once upon a time, every culture had nomads. Everyone, not
mm,
just tribes and, desert tribes in, I don't know, Middle East or
mm,
everywhere. There were
mm,
bards, singing bards, walking around
mhm,
just singing, telling people stories.
mm.
There was no TV, so somebody had to bring in some kind of entertainment, and then there were. And now it's kind of this society is very static,
Yeah.
kind of not very quote unquote normal to move around.
Mm,
But when we start to travel Australia, I realized that very
mm,
beginning, one of our stops was Exmouth, and we are just there by the ocean, those white dunes, and
mm,
turquoise. You get to sleep there, you get to wake up, you get to really
mm,
experience the country. And I'm thinking, home is everywhere. Uh,
mm,
it moves within you, and as you said before, the nature is aware. I
mm,
realize in Kananara, the trees around me, they're aware
mm,
rock knows
mhm.
when I walk in.
Yeah.
The,
Well, in original culture, the rocks, the stone, they're the wisdom keepers.
you see,
In Peruvian, in Andean culture, the mountains are the wisdom keepers. So in Bosnia, What do these mountains, these pyramids have to share
Beautiful.
when we go in with the deepest respect and the deepest honor?
I'm really looking forward for your report, quote unquote report.
I love it.
Sorry
Okay.
for lack of words. I'm doing my best with English, but still my first language is
Mm,
Slovenian Bosnian. Anyways, one thing before we conclude this, in my opinion, beautiful conversation. You told me
mm.
the other day you're writing a book.
Yes,
What's
I am
about?
writing a
You
book.
can share.
It is around right relationship. As I sat and pondered, and that's an interesting title, and it might change because I think that right relationship might lead people in the direction of, oh, I've got to have the right relationship, the old, I've got to find Mr. Right or Mrs. Right. Though underlying, when I actually sat and contemplated, I understood that at the heart center of everything that I offer is just coming into alignment with the heart, with the land, with the peoples, with one another, bringing it all into alignment. So it is around that. It's a coffee table book.
Mhm.
So, as you alluded to right at the very beginning, I did used to be a photographer. Uh, so, this will be like a coffee table book with beautiful images and sprinkled through with different key insights that help me to understand and help others to understand that full concept of being in right relationship with the earth, yeah, with ourselves, with one another. Really bringing it back, and it feels like a full circle now. Bringing it back to Palladian or the feminine ways. So, yeah, it's a doorway. It's another doorway that invites people to step across their own thresholds to a deeper path of consciousness, both within and in as without, as above, so below. So, yeah.
Very beautiful thought to conclude with. And again,
Mm-hmm.
Bosnian pyramids, Pleiades above and pyramids below,
Mm-hmm.
mirroring themselves. So before we finished, people can find your social media, and we will post the link
Mm.
of your website underneath. If you find yourself watching from Perth or also Mandi works online. As I said in
Mm.
the beginning, when I started your program, I just felt I'm so ready. I'm so ready that I just need a little bit extra support, a bit
Mm.
of cleansing, a bit of sovereign self-confidence
Yeah.
to do that most important
Mm.
step to actually do it,
Mm.
action.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, one or two sessions, monthly sessions into it,
Mm.
things really start to unfold. And we are not talking the spiritual concepts here. In my case, I'm talking grounded things, action,
Mm.
serious action. And what I also find myself, because so many ideas over the time in different places and stories here and this and Nikola Tesla and then Lemuria and this.
Mm.
Um, I found order in my
Mm.
head, and
Mm.
that brings order to my laptop.
Mm.
Stories finally
Yeah.
got organized. So thank you for that. Why I'm saying this
Mm.
again, not commercial,
Mm.
but just to honestly tell people what work with you brings, the
Mm.
possibility of it. So
Mm.
social media, you are on Instagram, is that correct?
Yeah, Instagram, Facebook, both Mandi J Nelson and Mandy with an I, and as well as the website, mandijnelson.com.
Mhm.
So yeah, definitely am only working online these days because I am so transient and
Mhm.
absolutely open to expanding that reach. Well, I was going to say the Earth's the limit, though it's not, is it?
No,
Yeah.
no, it's
Thank
not. And even what we see, it's not, because there is,
No, no.
we can see only 9.09935% of reality.
Oh, absolutely. We are so bound.
That's
We are
scientific,
so
real
bound. Yeah,
scientific. So,
yeah, yeah. I know. I know. We're so bound by our past experiences and by our belief system. And I think that that is really what I work with people with, expansion of that in order to be able to step into the next iteration of
mhm,
themselves.
mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, which happened to me.
And it's the
And we are
deepest
only
honor.
halfway through.
I know, oh my goddess. She's going to be bouncing right out there in the cosmos by the end.
Yeah, humble, always.
Yeah. Uh, Thank you,
Thank you,
my
Mandy.
beautiful sister. It has been the deepest honor and to be the first of these conversations as you relaunch it as well. It
Yeah.
is the deepest honor to walk this path with you and to be entrusted, for as a person that you share your deepest truths with. So, uh, a, a large privilege that I just feel incredibly blessed. So, thank you. Thank you for sharing your home country with me. I'm super excited, letting go of all external perceptions, expectations. Like, okay, spirit, universe, you told me to come here. Here I am. What's going to happen now?
I'm
Yeah.
sure you will not be bored. That I'm sure.
Fantastic.
So much to
Okay.
see, so much to do, and then that invisible happening, the little
Mm,
scenarios behind it all, behind the scenes, the things
hmm
unfold. It will be beautiful, I'm sure.
mm,
So thank you again for our viewers. I will continue this. We will host beautiful people. We cannot promise at this point. We'll see technical stuff with internet connection and how you're going to be with time in Bosnia. But I would love the idea to talk to you while you are there, kind of
Okay. Well,
alive.
let's
And when your
see.
experience is going
Yeah.
to be still fresh,
Yes.
um,
Yes.
first-hand experience, maybe we can do that uh,
Okay.
in a few weeks' time. That is right.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then soon we will also talk to Dr. Sam.
Mm-hmm.
Again, he will tell us more about uh, technicalities around Pleiades and what that means and all of that. And we will talk hopefully soon with Auntie Trudy. She's beautiful elder from East Coast. She talks about
Mm,
Lemuria a lot and Seven Sisters, and I love that. I met her
mm,
last year, first time, and I just fell in love with her story and her presence. So yeah.
beautiful.
Um,
I look forward to tuning into those.
Yeah. And of course, Stephen and Evenstrong, we hope
Mm,
they will come in also soon, and many other
mm,
interesting people. I feel like new chapter for all of us. Like we
mm,
reach some threshold, and now is we get
mm-hmm,
enough self-confidence, and we
mm,
know it's real. It's not fantasy. It's real. This is it.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
Yeah. And now we just give each other hands, and we do things.
mm-hmm,
We just. I think that's net. How you say netting, it's not proper word when we connect.
weaving,
Yes,
weaving,
that's the most
weaving.
beautiful. Yes, yes, it's
Absolutely.
happening now on very grounded, very physical level, and
Mm-hmm. Hmm.
Many people
And
that
it's
will listen part of
exciting.
that. Sorry.
And it's exciting.
That's what we came from. That's what we're waiting
Hmm.
for, learning from,
Hmm.
struggle for, suffer for, love
Hmm.
for, learn for,
Hmm.
all of that. So here we are.
Here we are. Yay. Ah, thank you. Blessings to you. Inanna Rakma.
See you soon.
Bye. Bye, beautiful. So much love.
Very same.